hold on tight, because Watson Season 2, Episode 1 just came roaring back with a wild blend of family secrets, life or death medical drama, and some seriously emotional reckonings. If you thought this show would slow down after all the bombshells of last season, think again. We're talking legendary recipes, deadly ingredients, memory loss that comes from a totally unexpected place, and the kind of plot twist that breaks and rebuilds hearts in the space of 1 hour. If you want all the details, the drama, and the answers to, wait, did Mary just get a brother she never knew about? Then you're in exactly the right place. So let's dive right in. The episode starts innocuously enough, with Mary chatting to her mom, Elizabeth Morstan, about the infamous family recipe for legendary banana tea cakes. But things very quickly take a dark turn. As Elizabeth bakes, she suddenly collapses. Mary rushes to her side, deeply worried, and we immediately sense this isn't just a minor mishap. The team at U-Hop, Watson's clinic, shuffles into action, with Watson himself directing the operation. They quickly piece together clues, notes everywhere in Elizabeth's house, baking instructions, handwriting shifts, and the tension ramps up as they try to figure out whether this is a straightforward stroke or something more complicated. Turns out it is complicated. While her physical exam doesn't show signs of a classic stroke, her mental state is off. And then Watson picks up on a critical clue. The recipe calls for bitter almond extract, which the mom has apparently been brewing herself. Why can't you buy this in stores? Sasha asks. The answer AT, because real bitter almond extract contains cyanide. That's right. Elizabeth has cyanide poisoning. Emergency treatment with hydroxycobalamin is a rush job, but Watson and company manage to save her. A moment of relief. Elizabeth is stabilized, and Mary and Watson share thanks, but the relief is short-lived. While Elizabeth pulls through the immediate crisis, signs of severe memory loss remain. She fails to recognize Mary and can't remember key details. With the notes and instructions scattered throughout her home, a sign she's been compensating for her declining cognition. Watson suspects something much deeper is going on. The team debates, diagnoses each classic dementia, Korsakoff's syndrome, Lewy body dementia, Alzheimer's. But the puzzle doesn't fit perfectly. Elizabeth is convinced she's only 25, even though she's 72, and at one point, she's convinced she's pregnant with Mary. Her reality has compressed into fragments from decades past. This isn't straightforward memory loss. Her mind is constructing a new narrative to fill in the gaps. The clinic is in turmoil, not just from the medical drama, but from disruptions to the team itself. Watson is standoffish, refusing interviews and grant opportunities, haunted by the aftermath of the Moriarty incident. His 3 resident doctors, Stevens, Sasha, and Ingrid, are restless, feeling boxed in at their Rust Belt clinic when they expected brilliance and global impact. Watson's mysterious standards for a new neurologist candidate are a recurring motif. He wants someone interesting, not just technically accomplished, but full of personal complexity and mystery, like his own troubled former friends. As they dig deeper into Elizabeth's medical case, Mary and the team notice a recent change in Elizabeth's handwriting. Shakier, more loopy strokes. Watson orders a kinematic analysis and begins zeroing in on a new theory. Rather than classic neurodegeneration, he suspects covert hepatic encephalopathy, meaning liver failure causing acute brain dysfunction. Elizabeth has non-alcoholic cirrhosis, likely from her diabetes, not alcoholism. Best of all, Watson reveals that if they act fast, her dementia is reversible. All they need is a liver transplant, but first she goes on the UNOS list and begins targeted medication. The race is on, but the tension skyrockets as Elizabeth's liver starts to fail more rapidly. Mary volunteers to be a living donor, but sadly, her liver's just too small. The risk to her own life is too great. Both mother and daughter could be lost. Devastated, Mary is forced to face the unthinkable Darrow. Her mother may die unless a new donor can be found quickly. Now comes one of the most powerful twists of the episode. Watson, always the investigator, digs into Elizabeth's past as her memory confabulates, insists she's 25 and about to have a baby in 1979. Watson discovers something wild. Mary isn't an only child. Elizabeth got pregnant before marriage and, unable to keep the baby, gave him up for adoption. Watson tracks down Mary's long-lost brother, Miles, who never even knew he was adopted. He's married, has children, but now faces a staggering decision: donate part of his liver to save a biological mother he never met. The emotional confrontation between Mary and Miles is raw. Genetics, family, the price of sacrifice, all come colliding in a single scene. Miles reacts as anyone would: shocked, dubious, cautious, even a bit overwhelmed by all the genetic quirks Mary shares with him. He can't simply give away part of himself. But as he learns about Elizabeth, how she saved his bakery years ago, how she always came to visit, he's pulled into the history he never knew was his own. Eventually, Miles comes in to see Elizabeth, fulfilling not just Watson's hope, but Mary's desperate plea to keep her mother alive. The episode doesn't spell out whether the donation goes through, but it closes with deeply heartfelt moments as Mary, Miles, and Elizabeth come together. For the first time, the fractured family finds a kind of unity even as Elizabeth remains sick and her fate uncertain. Meanwhile, subplots simmer. The team's debate over a new neurologist hits a comic note as they interview a basketball star turned brain doctor, who turns out not to be a towering 6'8", but an ordinary 5'8". The irony reflecting Watson's demand for interesting people, not just credentials. Ingrid's own journey struggles with self-recognition and change. Her antisocial personality disorder and her drive for meaning come to the fore, and she finally confesses her hopes for love and belonging to Watson in a touching emotional reveal. But one of the episode's brightest rays of hope is the return of Sherlock Holmes. Having been presumed dead after Moriarty's attack, Sherlock is alive, grateful to Watson for keeping him on, feeling it's his third chance, and determined to do good. Their conversation is loaded with history, regrets, gratitude, and the shared sense that this strange clinic in the Rust Belt needs every ounce of kindness they can muster. As the curtain closes, the core lesson of the hour is clear. Watson, haunted, mysterious, compassionate, reminds the team that everyone is full of secrets, traumas, and moments of grace. Mary's discovery of a secret sibling, Elizabeth's reversible dementia, Ingrid's confession, and Sherlock's quiet gratitude all build toward a message about repair, redemption, and the cost of holding things. Memories, pain, love, inside. Watson Season 2 Episode 1 is nothing short of a masterclass in emotional complexity. It throws us right back into the chaos and care of the U-Hop Clinic, uses a medical crisis to unearth decades of family secrets, and forces everyone to confront who they are, what they want, what they're willing to risk, and what it means to be truly seen and valued. The resolution isn't simple, and questions linger about the transplant, the future of the clinic, the fate of Elizabeth. But the journey is rich, painful, and deeply human. If you were blown away by all the twists, hit that like button, drop a comment below. What did you think of Mary's family secret? Should Miles have donated? And how do you feel about Sherlock coming back to the team? Don't forget to share this video with your fellow Watson fans and mash that subscribe button so you never miss a recap or breakdown. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.